Hello there, and welcome to JNC Better Living's Rooted Yoga. Today we're going to take a flow that is good for all levels, and we'll be here for about 30 minutes. We're going to start standing, and you may want to have some props, some blocks, just to aid you in bringing the floor closer to you, as well as maybe a blanket for when we get down on the floor to support your knees or your head. So let's start into Tadasana, or mountain pose. We're going to really ground our feet into the mat and see if you can find all four corners of your feet. The bone behind your big toe, the bone behind your little toe, and both sides of your heel. Now really pressing your feet into the mat, lifting your thighs away from your knees. Let your tailbone roll down. Open through your shoulders and your collarbone, and point your fingers toward the earth as you lift the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Good, maybe you close your eyes. And let's spend a couple of breaths here, just connecting inward and turning our attention to the breath. Breathing in and out through your nose, creating equal inhales and exhales. And then maybe slowly blinking your eyes open. Let's breathe in and sweep our arms up and overhead, touching at the top. Exhale, hands through heart center. Good, two more like that. We're going to circle our arms down, around, and up. Hands touch at the top. Exhale through heart center. And then one more. Breathe in, circle down, around, and up. Hands touch at the top. This time, hold there. Take left hand to right wrist and side bend over. Good, breathe in, come back to standing. Switch hands and side bend the other way. Good, breathe in, come back up. And exhale, spread your arms wide, hinge at your hips, swan dive forward all the way down, forward fold. Good, Ardha Uttanasana, now hands to shins, half lift, flat back, gaze stays down. Exhale, fold. Good, bending into your knees generously here. Roll up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last thing to come up. Good, roll your shoulders down your back. Press your fingers toward the earth as you lift the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Tadasana, mountain pose, one more time. Breathe in, take your arms up and overhead. Let's take that side bend one more time. Grabbing your wrist, side bending to the right. Breathe in, come back up. Grabbing the opposite wrist, side bend to the left. Good, breathe in, come back up. And swan dive forward one more time, hinging from your hips, coming all the way down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Breathe in, half lift, hands to shins, flat back. And exhale, fold. Good. Press into your feet as you bend into your knees and roll up again. Slowly, one more time. Breathe in, lift your hands up and overhead. And exhale, hands through heart center. Good. Now we're going to take our left foot and bring it to the top of the mat. And then we're going to take our right foot and bring it about 2 feet away from the front heel, coming into our warrior 2 legs. So our left toes are pointing forward, our front ankle is right over our front knee, and our back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Your front heel is in the same line as the middle of your back foot. Then you're going to take your arms and spread them out so that they are parallel to the earth. fingers pointing in opposite directions. You want your torso centered right between your legs, and then you want to put your gaze right over your front middle finger. Now maybe you sink a little bit more into that front knee, coming into your warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Really finding strength here. We're going to hold this pose for 3 more breaths. Breathing in and out through your nose, trying to create equal inhales and exhales. One more breath here. And then exhale, take your right hand to your right thigh, sweep your left arm up to the sky for reverse warrior. Good, breathe in 2 more breaths here. One more breath in, and then bring your hands parallel to the earth again, straighten through your front leg, and we'll come into triangle pose. So we're gonna shift our right hip back and then reach our left hand forward until you can't go any further. Then you'll tick-tock your arms so that your right hand is up, left hand pointing down. You can put that left hand on the outside of your calf or your inner thigh. You just want to make sure that you're not crunching over. You want to find a lot of length through both sides of your body. This is triangle pose or Trikonasana. Good, one more breath here. And then exhale, keep the legs where they are and just bring the right hand down to your leg, left hand up to the sky for reverse triangle. Exhale, let's bring our arms parallel to the earth, sink back into that front leg, coming back to our warrior two pose. Good, breathe in as you straighten through the front leg and lift your hands up and overhead. Exhale as you come back to warrior two. Good, we'll take that 3 more times. Breathe in, reach your hands above your head, straighten through your leg. Exhale back to warrior two, arms are parallel to the earth. Breathe in, reach your hands overhead. Exhale back to warrior two. Last time, breathe in, reach your hands up, straighten through your leg, and exhale back to warrior two. Good, now we're gonna bend into that front arm, place that forearm on the front thigh, sweep the right arm up to the sky for side angle. Good, have a couple more breaths here. Really finding length through that right side body. And now exhale, bring that right hand down to the mat, and then we're gonna walk those hands to the middle of your legs and pivot your left foot so that it is pointing toward the side of the mat. We're in a wide-legged forward fold now. Breathe in, find length through your spine, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold all the way down, coming into wide-legged fold. Now we're gonna press our left hand into the mat, right under our nose. Breathe in as we sweep our right hand up to the sky. Good, exhale, bring that right hand below your nose, switch hands. Right hand presses into the mat as you sweep your left arm up to the sky. Good, breathe in, hand comes back down. Now we're gonna pivot our heels in, toes out, bend deeply into our knees, and roll up, coming into goddess pose. Your hands can be on your hips, they can be at heart center, or you can create this little mudra. You want your knees pointing in the direction of your toes, and you want to tilt your pelvis a little bit forward so you take that arch out of your back. Good, 2 more breaths here. And then breathe in as you stretch through your arms and legs, coming into star pose. 1 more breath here. And exhale, hands come through heart center. Good, now we're gonna pivot on our feet. We're gonna shift our back, our left foot, so that it's at a 45-degree angle. And now our right foot is pointing toward the back of our mat. We're gonna breathe and extend our arms wide, coming into our warrior 2 on this side. You may have to play with the position of your front foot. You wanna make sure that your front knee is right over your front ankle. Your gaze is over your right fingers. Your torso is centered between your legs. And maybe you sink a little bit deeper into that front leg. Good, 3 more breaths here. Good, and then breathe in, sweep that right arm up, left arm goes down, coming into reverse warrior. 2 breaths here. And then breathe in, come back to our warrior 2. We're gonna straighten through that front leg, shift our left hip back, right arm reaches as far forward as you can, and then tick-tock your arms, coming into our triangle pose. Really press into your front big toe. Try to stack shoulder right over shoulder, and don't go too far down, because you don't want to crunch through this right side. You want to find lots of length through both sides of your body. Good, 1 more breath here. And then exhale, bend into that front knee, coming back to warrior 2. Now we'll take that little movement. Breathe in, hands reach up and overhead, straighten through your front leg. Exhale, bend into that front knee, coming back to warrior 2. Good, 3 more times like that. Breathe in, reach to the ceiling, straighten through the leg. Exhale, warrior 2. Breathe in, extend. Exhale, warrior 2. Last time, breathe in, reach, and exhale, warrior 2. Good, now we're gonna bend into that front forearm, place the right arm on your front thigh, and sweep the left arm up to the sky for side angle. Good, couple breaths here. And then we're gonna sweep that left arm down to the mat and walk our hands to the middle of our legs, pivoting our right foot so that your toes are pointing to the side of the mat. Breathe in, half lift, flat back, and exhale, fold, wide-legged forward fold here. Good, now we're gonna walk our hands to our left foot, bend into the left knee and find a little stretch. And then breathe in, walk the hands back to the center, bend into the right knee and walk the hands to the right. Good, we'll take that 1 more time. Breathe in, straighten through the right knee, bend into the left knee, hands come toward the left, and then breathe in, walk the hands all the way to the right foot, bend into the right knee. Good, breathe in, come back to center, and then bend into your knees generously and slowly roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Breathe in, sweep your arms up and overhead, coming into star pose. And then exhale, hands through heart center. Good, bend into your knees a little bit, and we're just gonna hop our feet together. We're gonna press the left foot into the mat and see if we can find all 4 corners of our foot like we did at the beginning. Come up onto the ball of your right foot and then pivot your right knee out to the right, coming into our tree pose. Good. You can stay here, bring hands to heart center if you like, and try to find a focal point, something in the room that is not moving. Then if you want to play with your balance even more, you can lift your foot all the way to your shin, or you can reach down, grab your ankle, and lift your foot all the way to your inner thigh. You can use that opposite hand for balance to try to extend the arms out, and then when you feel good and positioned in a balance, then you can bring your hands to heart center, or you can even extend your arms up to the ceiling, grow your branches, and act like a tree, maybe swing in the wind. 3 more breaths here. If you fall out, it's totally okay. It means you have found your edge, and then you can try all over again, helping your body to create that muscle memory. And exhale, bring that foot down, shake out the standing leg, and then we'll take that on the other side. Rounding into the right foot, coming up onto the ball of the left foot, and then pivoting that left knee out to the left. Finding that drishti or focal point so that it can help you to balance, and then maybe lifting that foot up a little bit. Staying there, or reaching for the ankle and bringing it all the way up to the inner thigh. You just want to make sure you're never putting your foot on your knee, because you don't want to compromise that joint, and by putting that pressure from the side, it really can do some damage. Good, staying here with hands at heart center, or again, growing your branches. 3 more breaths. If you fall out, just get right back in. Good. And then bringing that foot down, shaking out the other leg. Good, and we'll take a breath to reset. So taking your hands down, around and up, touching at the top, and exhale, swan dive forward. Breathe in, half lift, hands to shins, flat back, and exhale, fold. Now we're going to take our hands down to the mat, and we're going to come down to hands and knees. So take your time to get there. We want to line up to make sure that our wrists are right under our shoulders and our hips are right over our knees. Spread your fingers nice and wide so you create little pie shapes in between your fingers. And then we'll take a couple cat-cows here. So gaze is down at the mat. Breathe in as you lift your hips and roll your shoulders down your back, shining your heart forward and lifting your gaze. This is cow pose. Exhale, cat pose, round into your back. Gaze goes to your thighs. Breathe in, roll forward, drop your belly, cow pose. Exhale, arch your back, cat pose. Good, breathe in, roll forward, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Good, breathe in, come back to neutral spine, and we'll take a spinal balance. So you're going to ground into your right hand and extend your left hand out in front of you, keeping your hips square to the mat. Extend your right foot behind you. On your next breath in, lift your right leg so it's parallel to the earth, pointing your fingers toward the front and your toes toward the back, engaging your core to help you balance. Breathe in, find length. Exhale, keep everything where it is. Just touch your right toes to the mat, and then breathe in, lift. Good. Exhale, lower your toes. Breathe in, lift. Exhale, lower. Breathe in, lift. Last time. Exhale, lower. Breathe in, lift. And now bring your hand down and bring your knee down. Now we're going to stay on this same side, and we're gonna keep our left knee on the mat, and we're gonna lift our right leg, keeping the knee bent, coming into what would be called like a fire hydrant pose. Exhale, lower the knee to the mat. Breathe in, lift the bent leg. Exhale, lower. Last time, breathe in, lift the right knee. Exhale, lower. Good, and we'll take one round of cat-cow, and then we'll go to the other side. Breathe in, come into cow pose, lift your gaze, lift your hips. Exhale, round into your back, gaze goes to your thighs. Good, breathe in, come back to neutral. This time we will extend our right arm out in front of us and our left foot behind us. Breathe in as you lift that left leg up so it's parallel to the earth. Keeping your hips square to the mat, engage your core. Don't forget to breathe here. Good. And then one more breath here. And exhale, tap your left toes to the mat. Breathe in to lift. Exhale to lower. Breathe in to lift. Exhale to lower. Breathe in to lift. Exhale to lower. And breathe in to lift. Good, bring your right hand down and your left knee down. Now keeping the right knee grounded on the mat, we're gonna take our left leg with it bent at the knee out to the side, coming into our hydrant pose. Exhale, lower the knee down. Breathe in, lift the knee up. Exhale, lower it down. Keeping everything else steady, lift the knee up. Exhale, lower. Last time, breathe in to lift. Exhale to lower. Good, and then we'll take our knees wide to the mat, toes touching. Bring your sits bones back to your heels, coming into child's pose. Bring your head down to the mat and bring your arms to a diamond shape. So fingers are touching, elbows are out wide. Reconnecting to your breath here. A couple of breaths. Good. One more breath here. And then we're gonna walk our hands toward our knees and then just shift our hips to the mat and point our legs out in front of us. Good, you might wanna shift so that your seat is right in the middle of the mat, and then you have your legs extended out in front of you. We're gonna take a seated forward fold, so you might want to bend into your knees a little bit. You also might want to roll your mat or put a blanket under your sits bones just on the edge there to give you a little bit more support for your back, and it will create less of an arch as you lower down. So we're gonna point our toes up to the ceiling, press our legs into the mat, breathe in and lift our arms up and overhead, and then exhale, fold forward. Hinging from our hips here, just like we did earlier, we want to only come forward as much as we can without rounding into our back. So if you're really tight, you can bend into your knees, and maybe you'll find a little bit more extension through your back. You can also roll up a blanket under your knees for additional support here. Good, 2 more breaths here. Good, and then bringing your hands, walking them closer to your torso, and then we're gonna bend into our knees and bring our hips to the middle of the mat, coming into our boat pose. So we want to grab behind our thighs, make sure our feet are pointing out in front of us, and then find lots of length through your spine, press your hips into the mat, lift lift the crown of your head up, and then bring your torso so it's diagonal, maybe about a 45-degree angle to the earth. And then you're gonna lift either one leg or both legs, coming into boat pose. You're creating kind of a little boat here with your torso, and you can hold on to the backs of your legs, or if you don't find this to be challenging enough, you can let go and let your core do even more work here. Now, if you're getting any lower back pain, you want to back off either by grabbing onto the legs or only doing one lifted leg at a time. You don't want to have any pain here. What you should do is feel your core really engaging, maybe feel some shaking. Good, we'll be here for 3 more breaths. If you want more, you can extend through the arms or the legs or both. Again, just back off anytime you feel pain. 1 more breath here. And then taking your arms, wrapping them around your bent legs, and giving yourself a nice little squeeze. Good, and then taking your block with you, we're gonna come and lay onto our back and come into a supported bridge pose. So our back is on the mat. We're gonna point our knees up to the ceiling, and our knees are about hip distance apart. We're gonna press our feet into the mat and lift our hips, coming into bridge pose. Now I'm gonna suggest a supported bridge, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can take the block and put it under your sacrum, either on the lowest level or on the second level, finding support by putting that block right under that bone that is just above your buttocks and just below your back. It's kind of right there at that intersection at your hips. Good, and maybe at this point you want to close your eyes and just feel this nice heart opener and hip opener, and getting a nice stretch through your back after we did all of that folding. Good, 1 more breath here. And then we're going to press our feet into the mat, lift our hips, and remove the block. And then lower your hips all the way down. Good, now we're going to bring our knees into our chest, and then take our feet and press them up toward the ceiling with bent knees, coming into happy baby. So you're just going to feel like your knees are coming into your armpits, and then you can either grab behind your thighs, you can grab your legs right above your ankles, or if you can reach up and grab the outer or inner edges of your feet. And you're going to try to reposition yourself now so you can create connection with the small of your back and the mat. And then once you do that, you reposition your feet so that your shins are perpendicular to the ceiling. Good, and from here, maybe you sway a little bit side to side. Good, just 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to bring our feet down to the mat, and then we're going to extend our legs so that they're coming to the edges and the corners of the top of the mat. And then we're going to bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly, and close your eyes if your eyes are not closed already, coming into our Shavasana pose. This is the time when your body feels the transformation of all of the work and the stretching and the holding and the strengthening that you did during your flow. Relax your mind. Let your thoughts drift away as though they're on clouds, and come back to your natural breath. We'll just be here for 1 minute to reconnect Feel the earth supporting you, and then I will guide you out to close our practice. To one side, grounding your hand into the earth. Press yourself out to a comfortable seated position. Bringing hands to heart center. The light in me honors and respects the light in you. Namaste. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more free rooted yoga from JNC Better Living. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Comment below if there are areas that you'd like me to address in future yoga practices.